Yes. Okay. So, so once again for the recording, the square pyramid, 35 mm sides of base and 65 mm axis length is resting on HP on one of its edges of the base, which is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. So the inclination to VP 30 degree is a true inclination. Also, the inclination of the axis to HP 40 degrees is a true inclination. So theta and phi are given. So now we are drawing the 3D view. So first step is the square pyramid resting on an edge on HP. So this is ABCD, the square pyramid base. Now OO1 is the axis whose length is 65, and what I'll do is I'll join O to all the four corners of the base. Okay, so this is step one. Step two, uh, you will have axis inclined to HP by 40 degrees. So I just need some reference. So this is the apex, and this is C, this is B, this is A. Okay. Now, how do I say that the axis, that is OO1, this axis line is inclined to HP at 40 degrees? I'll extend the axis line to HP like this, and this angle is your theta angle, which in this case is 40 degrees. Clear? So the point to be noted is the axis OO1 is inclined to HP by an angle theta. Now theta in this case, if you draw the front view, the theta would be 40 degrees. If you want, I can draw that also. This would be the front view. So this would be B dash, A dash, and this would be C dash, D dash. This angle is theta. Clear? Now the point to be noted, are the conditions satisfied? See, the conditions were very simple. You should have one of the edges of the base uh, on HP. So it is resting on HP on one of the edges of the base. That is very clear. Okay, and for that to happen, the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degrees. Now, is the axis inclined at 40 degree? In this case, theta is 40. So the axis is inclined. So this O1 is the axis. Even here you can see O1 is the axis. It is inclined at an angle theta. So that condition is satisfied. Next, is it resting on HP on one of the edges of the base? Yes, it is. Which edge? Which is the edge on which this pyramid is resting on HP?
DC.
BC?
Sir, DC.
No, no, just observe here. See, which is the edge or which is the edge whose front view is on XY line?
C dash B dash.
CD? Yes. So if the front view of an edge is on XY line, what does that mean? It means that the edge CD is on HP. So CD is on HP. This is what it means. So CD is the edge which is resting on HP. Okay. Yeah. So CD is the edge. So in the third step, this CD is the edge which you should incline to VP by 30 degrees. So if you consider, let us say, mm, like this, phi, which is 30 degrees. On this line, the edge CD should be there. So you are going to incline in the um, clockwise direction. So you are going to rotate in the clockwise direction. So it may come like this. I think to show you, it is better to take angle the other way. Otherwise, I'll not be able to draw the 3D properly. So instead of drawing the angle like this, I'll draw the angle like this from left to right. Same 30 degrees. Now I'll be rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. Why I'm doing this is only for you to show the 3D drawing and also for me to draw it properly. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for me to draw here. You can see here. I'm rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. So this would be C. This would be D. C and D. Yeah. Okay. So CD is here. This would be B. This would be A. And this would be O1. This would be O. This is the axis line. So this is how CD is inclined at 30 degrees. The edge on which it is resting on HP is inclined to VP by 30 degrees. Clear? So first step, resting on HP. Second step, inclined to HP. The axis is inclined to HP by an angle theta, which in this case is 40 degrees. And while doing so, CD is the edge which is still on HP. In the third step, this edge CD is inclined to VP by 30 degrees. So these are the three steps. Now what we have to do is we have to draw the 2D views, the front view and the top view in all these three steps. Okay. But before that, I want to ask you one thing. See, in the second step, the axis is inclined by an angle theta, which in this case is 40 degrees. Okay. Can you tell me what is this inclination of the base? How much is this angle? This angle. What is this angle? It's like this. You are being told that the inclination of the axis is 40 degrees. What I'm asking is, what is this angle? That is inclination of the base. How much do you think is the inclination of the base?
So
Any idea?
180 theta.
Yeah, see, this is 90 degrees. 90 plus 40, 130. 180 minus 130, how much? 50 degrees. This is the reason why I chose 40-degree angle, because if I choose 45, then it will be same. So I wanted to show the difference. That means what? If the axis is inclined at 40 degrees, that means the base is inclined at 50 degrees, because the axis is perpendicular to the base. This is what it means. This point will be very helpful when you draw the 2D view, especially the second step, because it is very difficult to reposition this angle at 40 degrees, but it is very easy to reposition this base at 50 degrees. You will understand when you actually draw the 2D view, second step front view. Okay, so that is the reason why I chose this. So please understand this. If the axis is inclined at 40 degree, it means the base is inclined at 50 degrees. Okay, so this inclination is 50 degrees. Okay. So fine, keeping this as a reference, we will draw the 2D views. So again here, first step, we'll be needing a lot of space. So leave ample space and use it in the landscape mode so that you have plenty of space. Don't use it in the portrait mode. You will end up doing the third step in the next page. Okay. First step, top view will be a square resting on an edge. So ABCD. So draw the square of 35 mm sides, starting with this. Thirty-five, rather, I'll draw one here. 35, 35, and 35. This is a 35 mm square. You can name them small a, small b, small c, small d. The four corners of the base as you find it here. Okay. Now to find out the apex and also the center of the base, you have to join the opposite corners like this. Join AC and join BD. Wherever they intersect, that is the center of the base as well as the apex. So this point here is O into bracket O1. If you view from the top, you will be seeing O first. O1 is directly below O, so that is why O1 is inside the bracket. So this is your first step, top view. The pyramid, the square pyramid resting on HP on its base. Front view, you have to draw the vertical projections. In this case, three. One for AB, one for CD, and one for OO1. Now what you have to do is this projector of OO1, you need to extend above XY line by quite some distance. So three projections. The projector of AB and CD will end here at the XY line. So this point will be B dash, A dash. This point will be C dash, D dash. This point, center, this would be center of the base O1 dash. And apex, you can locate at 65 mm height. Okay, so what you do is, you have to measure 65 mm above XY line. 65 mm above XY line. So somewhere here. So this point is O dash. And this height here. So all the four corners of the base and the center of the base are on XY line because all these 5 points are on HP. The apex O is 65 mm above XY line because the apex is 65 mm above HP. So this is how you have to locate the points. And you will get the same thing if you draw the front view. You would be getting the same thing here. No change. Here. This would be O dash. This would be B dash, A dash. This would be C dash, D dash. And this center would be O1 dash. And this would be your axis line. No change. Okay. Now is the time to apply the rules of visibility. The rules of visibility. So basically what it means is, how do you identify the hidden edges and the edges that are seen, that are not hidden. So these rules will help you to do that. So let us try out the rules to get the first step front view. So the first rule, please note down, the first rule is all these points, you take O dash or B dash, A dash or O1 dash or C, all these have to be joined by lines to get the front view. Now the first rule says that the outermost exterior points, please note, the outermost exterior points have to be joined by solid straight lines. Okay. So which are the outermost exterior points? I guess all of them. This is an exterior point, this is an exterior point. Even O1 dash also is. Is there any point that is inside? There is no point. But as we go on gradually, some points will come as we move on to the next problem. In this problem, fortunately, there is no such case. So what it means is simply join all these points by solid straight lines. See here. And this to this. So this is the first step. So join the outermost exterior points by solid straight lines. So if you join these 3 points, 1, 2 and 3, by these 3 lines, this is the outer boundary of the front view of this pyramid. Same as what we got here. Okay. Now the only thing left is the axis line. This central line, you have to make it like an axis line. Okay. So a big line, a small line. So that way you have to represent the axis line. Big line, small line. So this is the axis. Okay. So this is the first step. Front and top view. Second step, you have to incline this axis line O dash O1 dash by 40 degrees. Now is the time to check it out. See, can you incline this O dash O1 dash perfectly by 40 degrees, ensuring that C dash D dash is on XY line? It is very difficult. If you want, you can try it out. Because see, you have to adjust, you have to draw this line, the axis line at 40 degrees, and you should also ensure that C dash D dash is on XY. It is very difficult. So the best option is you draw the base at 50 degrees. That is easier. Automatically the axis will be inclined at 40 degrees. So this is a shortcut. Okay. So what we'll do is, as you have seen, the base is inclined at 50 degrees. So I'll draw a line like this at 50 degrees, which represents the base. So I'll choose one point. Say I'll choose a point here, C dash D dash. So basically I'm choosing this point, C dash D dash on XY line. Now I'll be drawing the 50-degree angle like this. So 50 degrees, and I'll be drawing the 50-degree line on which the base is to be located. So this is the 50 degrees. On this, the base will come. What is the length of the base? 35 mm. If you want, you can measure and check it out. It is 35 mm, equal to the square, the length of the square. So 35 mm. So this point is B dash, A dash. This point is C dash, D dash. This is the base. Okay. Now what you can do is you can use the rounder and locate O dash with respect to B dash, A dash and C dash, D dash. I think you already know how to do this. Draw the arc, cut the arc. So from C dash, D dash, I will measure the distance till O dash. Yeah, till here. Which is going to be same for B dash, A dash also. Both these lengths are same. So what I'll do is I'll measure, and from C dash, D dash, I'll make an arc. From B dash, A dash, keeping the same distance, I will cut the arc. So it is intersecting somewhere here. This point is O dash. Join O dash to B dash, A dash. And O dash to C dash, D dash. Done. Only thing is you have to locate O1 dash. O1 dash is the center. So you will be getting it at 17.5 mm, half of 35. So 17.5 is roughly somewhere here. So this is O1 dash. So now what you can do is you can join O dash and O1 dash by the axis line. Got it? Now it is not over. It's not done. There is one small thing remaining. See, what is given to you, axis is inclined at 40 degrees. Where is the inclination of the axis? You have to show the inclination of the axis. And you also don't know whether it is really inclined at 40 or not. So what you should do is, you should project the axis back to XY line. Extend the axis line back to XY line. Extend the axis line back to XY line and find out what is this angle. This angle has to be 40 degrees. You can check it. If you want, you can check it. Yes, it will be 40 degrees. So this is how, if you incline the base by 50 degrees, automatically the axis which is perpendicular to the base will be inclined at 40 degrees. Is this step understood? This is very important. Almost all your problems will be having the second step front view like this. Okay, I'm assuming that you have. Fine. So we are done with the second step front view. Now moving on to the second step top view. So here same, you have to draw the vertical projections from the front view and horizontal projections from the top view. Wherever they intersect, you have to locate the intersection points. So starting with the vertical projections. So there will be 4 vertical projectors. 1, 2, 3, and of course 4. So 4 vertical projectors and 3 horizontal projectors. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now you can locate the intersection points. First start with the base ABCD. A dash and A, this is A. B dash and B, this is B. C dash and C, this is C. D dash and D, this is D. Now locate the axis. You can see O1 dash and O1. This is O1. O dash and O. This is O. Same, whatever you have done in planes, same way you have to locate these 6 points. Okay. Okay. So now you have the 6 intersection points. Now the second step, top view has to be drawn. How this pyramid will look in the top view. Second step, top view. So for that also, you have to apply the rules of visibility. Okay. The rules of visibility have to be applied for the second step, top view also. And here also the first rule of visibility. Do you remember what it was, what you used here? If you want, I can write it down. Join the outermost exterior points by solid straight lines. This is the rule. Apply the rule here. Now tell me, there are 6 points. Which are the outermost exterior points? That means there is some interior point. So tell me which are the exterior points and which is the interior point. Any idea? Which are the outermost exterior points and which is the interior point? You guys there or no? Somebody answer? Yeah, anybody? Well, all are busy doing something else.
One is interior point, sir.
Exactly. O1 is interior point. A, B, C, D, and O. All these 5 points are exterior points. O1 is interior point. So what we need to do is join the exterior points by solid straight lines. So we'll start. We'll join A to B. We'll join B to C. We'll join A to D. We'll join D to O. And we'll join O to C. These are the 5 exterior points. So it is as good as you are drawing the boundary of the solid in the top view. Beyond this boundary, the solid cannot exist. Inside this boundary, the solid exists. It's like the outline or the boundary of the solid. Okay. So this is the application of the first rule. The first rule of visibility. Fine. Okay. Next. See, there are 5 entities here basically. There are 4 triangular faces and 1 base square. So now tell me, in the top view, what all do you see? What do you expect to see? How many triangular faces do you think are seen out of the 4? in the top view?
Two.
Out of the 4 triangular faces, how many triangles? Will you see all the 4? Will you see 1? Will you see 2 or 3? And
Two.
most importantly, will you see the base or not? These are the questions that come up. So here also, some thumb rules of visibility will help you. For example, the next rule is fairly simple. If the inclination of the base is less than 90 degrees, then the base will not be seen in the top view. What is the inclination of the base to HP? 50 degrees. Is it less than 90 degrees? Yes. So the base ABCD will not be seen in the top view. Clear? So if the inclination of the base is less than 90 degrees, or even you can say equal to 90 degrees, the base will not be seen in the top view. That is exactly what happens here. The inclination of the base, we want to see here, the base is inclined by an angle of 50 degrees. This inclination is 50 degrees, which is less than 90. So the base will not be seen. Okay, agreed, base will not be seen. So that means what? Something will be seen. What? What is left? If you take out the base, then what is left? The 4 triangular faces. Now you have to decide among the 4 which are going to be seen. So if you look from the top, which are the edges you see for sure? Any idea? When you look from the top, see there are 4 slant edges. You can see here OA, OB, OC, and OD. When you look from the top, do you see OA and OB? This OA and OB, are they seen when you look from the top? Or you take the front view of that. O dash A dash and O dash B dash are the front view of OA and OB. Are these 2 edges seen when you look from the top? Yes. Because see, when you look from the top, O dash A dash and O dash B dash are the first edges to be seen. You can see there is nothing above it. There is nothing to protect it or cover it. So O dash A dash and O dash B dash, 100% they are seen. You can rephrase it in another way. It is as good as saying that the triangular face OAB, this triangular face is completely seen when you look from the top. Here. So as per our rule, the edges which are clearly seen, they should be drawn using solid straight lines. So what I'll do is OA joined by solid straight line, OB joined by solid straight line. So when you do this, now how many triangular faces are seen in the top view? 3. Which are they? OAD, OAB, and OBC. 3 triangular faces seen in the top view. The triangular face OCD, this is the only face which is not seen. It is below. Clear? You can check it out with this or here also. So how we got this is, when you look from the top, O dash A dash and O dash B dash, these are the 2 edges which are 100% seen because they are the first edges which you see when you look from the top. They are the first edges. So if you make them dark, if you join them by solid straight lines, automatically you will be getting three triangular faces. Okay, so this is one way. Now there might be some of you who are confused as to how to come to know like whether this O dash A dash is seen or O dash B dash is seen or this triangular face OAB seen. How do I come to know from the 3D? Yes, but every time I cannot draw 3D and it is very difficult for me to visualize also. So then how do I solve this? There is another way. It's a mechanical way. I think most of you will be using that only. So let me show you that. Okay, but in a very rough way, not exactly. So what I'll do is I'll draw this top view here. Okay, so this is what we had got. Okay, this was O, this was A, B, C, and D, isn't it? So whatever top view you got, I'm back here with the same. Okay, now if you are not able to understand like whether OA is seen or OB is seen in the top view, then another very simple mechanical way is this. If you join, or rather, how should I phrase it? Yeah, into how many triangles can you divide this odd shape? This is a very odd shape. Into how many triangles can you divide this odd shape? Provided you join the corner of the base to the apex and not to each other. Okay, so please note down this. Into how many triangles can you divide the shape? The shape here means this shape, so that the corner of the base is joined to the apex and not to each other. Okay, so simply put, this odd shape into how many triangles can you divide? Tell me. I can divide into three if I join A to O. I am joining the corner of the base to the apex. I am not joining it to this. B to O. Again, I am doing the same. I am joining the corner of the base to the apex. So again, the same triangles you are going to get. This is another way. Whichever way you like, you can follow because outcome for both are same. You can see here. You will get three triangles. So you decide which you want. If you are able to understand this, fine. If you are able to understand this, fine. There are two methods. Go ahead with any one. Okay. Next. Fine. Whatever is seen, we are represented. Whatever is visible, we are represented. What about uh, the edges that are not visible? In this case, we have only one such edge, and that is this CD. You see this edge CD, which is the lowermost edge. In this 3D, you can make out. See, CD is the lowermost edge, which is below 100%. You cannot see it because there are so many things on top of it. So CD has to be joined by hidden lines or dashed lines, you can say. Lines like this. So this completes the second step, top view. One more thing is there, of course. OO1 you can join using the axis line. So big line, small line, big line, small line. So axis line. So CD is the only edge which is not seen, which is hidden. Other edges are seen. This is the second step, top view. Okay. Third step, you have to draw the 30-degree angle to VP and put this edge CD on VP. So first draw the 30-degree line. So what you can do is you can mark a point here, maybe here, because I don't have a lot of space. So I'll start very near. Maybe from this point, I'll draw a 30-degree line like this. This is the true inclination. And on this 30-degree line, I have to locate the edge CD. Okay. So it is as good as I'm trying to rotate it in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So I'm going to rotate it and keep it like this. So roughly, this is how the shape will be. Yeah, this would be C, this would be D, and this would be B, this would be A, and this would be O. Like this. And somewhere at the center, you'll get O1. This is a rough shape. So I'm rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So keeping this as a reference, start drawing. So you have to start with the point D, because if you move D very close to XY line, then there is a possibility that this corner O, the apex O, will be above XY line. That shouldn't happen. So you should ensure that D is some distance below XY line. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll mark D maybe somewhere here. Yeah. And then C to D I know 35 mm. So I'll put 35 mm here. Yeah, before doing that, okay, I can do it. No problem. So this is C. And I know CD is a dashed line, hidden line. So I'll draw it like that. Now here also that locus issue is there. Okay, don't forget locus. Now you tell me, is this a locus problem or not? (30° is a true inclination. On a true inclination, you should have the true length. What is the true length of CD? It is 35 mm. In the second step, top view, this 35 mm, has it remained 35 mm or has it reduced? Check out. It is still 35. Why? Because CD is parallel to HP. If you see the 3D view, you can see here CD is on HP and it is parallel to HP. That is why CD has not reduced in its length. It was 35, it is 35. So true length you can easily keep on a true inclination. This is not a locus problem. Had CD reduced in length, then we'll have to use the locus method. In this case, we need not. Okay, because true length 35 mm is on the true inclination. Done. No problem. Now what you can do is you can measure these lengths. You can use your rounder or you can use a scale. So 24 mm perpendicular to B and C, sorry, C and D. You have to draw two lines which are 24 mm in length. So this would be A, and this would be B. So you can measure this 24 mm and transfer it here. So I have all the four corners with me. Done. Now only thing I have to locate O. So for that I can use a rounder. Take a rounder, measure the distance from C to O. C to O and D to O also, because both the lengths will be same. So you'll get O here, very near to XY line. Join them, C to O and D to O, and complete the second step, top view inclined by 30 degrees in the third step. Also you can join OB also.
Sir, C2 we should take, no, sir?
Hmm? C to O I have taken. See, thing is, C to O and D to O both are same. That is why if I measure once, I'll use the same length here, D to O also, and cut it. Because both these distances are same. I'll join A to O also. Okay, and don't forget O1. So to locate O1, you can again use a rounder. From A and B, you can find out the distance of O1 and locate O1. That is like this. See, from B to O, O1. From B to O1. So from B to O1, I'll draw an arc. And from A to O1, the same distance, I'll cut the arc. So this point will be O1. Now if I join O1 to O, this would be the axis line. This is how I reposition the second step top view in the third step. Such a way that the edge on which it is resting, that is CD, is inclined at 30 degrees to VP. Okay, so quickly we'll finish off the final front view also. This is the final top view. Now you have to draw and locate the final front view. So generally, it will not take much time. Maximum these kind of problems take around 30 minutes to 35 minutes or maximum 40 minutes. But since I have to explain to you all these concepts, draw the 3D and explain all these things, that is why it is taking a lot of time. Almost you can say 1.5 hours. Otherwise, within 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes, you can easily solve this problem if there is no explanation to be done. Okay. Now, final step, draw the vertical projectors and the horizontal projectors and mark the intersection points. So what we'll do is first we'll uh, draw the horizontal projectors because they are less in number, starting with O dash and then moving on to So 1, 2, 3, fourth one is on XY line, so no need to draw that. So 4 horizontal projectors and 6 vertical projectors. Now it is up to you. If you want, you can draw all the 6. 6 by 4, you'll have 24 intersection points. Out of that, you have to locate only 6. So it may be a bit confusing. So as we have done in planes, you project one by one and locate the intersection point. For example, if you start with the base ABCD, first project A till the projector of A dash. You can see here. I'm going to project A till here. This is the projector of A dash. So this point is A dash. Similarly, B. I'll project till this point. Why? Because the projector of B dash is at the same level. So this point would be B dash. Similarly, C. This is C dash. C dash is on XY line. So this point is C dash. Similarly, D. D I'll extend till XY line because D dash is on XY line. So you can see here D dash. So this point here is D dash. So there is very less confusion in this case. Now O and O1. So you can project O1 first. O1 till the projector of O1 dash in the front view. So till here, because this is the projector of O1 dash. So this point is O1 dash. Last but not the least, O. So projector of O, topmost point, that is O. So O till the projector of O dash. So this point here is O dash. So A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, O1 dash and O dash. Your 6 intersection points. Okay. Now this view would be very interesting because it is completely different, and this will give you the exact idea of how beautiful this projection of solids is if done properly and correctly. How you will get the view in the final front view. Okay, so now apply the rules of visibility. Apply the first rule. What is the first rule? Join the outermost exterior points by a solid straight line. This is the first rule. So apply this here. Tell me which are the outermost exterior points in this case. O dash, A dash or B dash? Which one?
A dash.
Yes. Next. O1 dash or D dash?
D dash.
Okay.
D dash.
C dash or O1 dash?
C dash.
C dash.
C dash.
Yes. So that means what? O dash, A dash, D dash, C dash. These are the 4 outermost exterior points. B dash and O1 dash are interior points. So join the exterior points straight away. Join A dash to D dash. Solid straight lines. Join D dash to C dash. Join C dash to O dash. Join O dash to A dash. Done. So you can see the boundary of the solid. Solid straight lines. So these are the 4 outermost exterior points. B dash and O1 dash are interior points. Clear? Next. Yeah. Now we'll be seeing another rule of visibility. Okay. which is very simple. When you look from the front, this is the front view, or rather I can show you here. Yes, this is better. When I look from the front, I am standing here, I am looking at this pyramid. Do I see the base or no? In the front view, we want to get the front view. Do I see the base ABCD in the front view? Is the question. Some of you can imagine and you will say yes. Yes, the base will be seen by the observer when he looks in the front view. Those who can't imagine, no problem. There is another thumb rule. See, base is the entity which is nearest to the observer. The observer is here. This is the observer. Which is the nearest entity to the base, to the observer? Is it the base or the apex?
Base.
Yes. So the nearest entity will be seen. That is the rule. That means the base is very clearly seen. So join ABCD by solid straight lines. Already A dash D dash is joined. D dash C dash is joined. What is left? B dash to C dash and A dash to B dash. So what does this show? This shows that the base is completely seen in the front view. Clear? Now the base is seen, so that leaves us with what? That leaves us with a question of, out of the four triangular faces, how many are seen in the final front view? Which may be difficult to answer, but you have this method. I hope you remember this technique. Into how many triangles can you divide the shape so that the corner of the base, or in this case the corner of the top face or base, is joined to the apex and not to each other? The same rule we are going to apply here. So the odd shape is now this shape. Shall I draw it separately? That would be better. Okay. Where should I? Yeah, you can draw it here. So this shape, I'm going to draw it here for your understanding. This is O dash, A dash, B dash, C dash. A dash, B dash, C dash. This is the shape. Please observe, this is the shape. We want to see this odd shape into how many triangles can you divide? By applying this rule. You have to apply this rule. So, into how many triangles can you divide? So that you join the corners of the base to the apex and not to each other. Two triangles. By joining B dash to O dash. That's it. See here, you have to deal with almost 4 points. So there will be 3 triangles. Here you have to deal with 3 points. So there will be 2 triangles. Straight away. So this is the way. If you join O dash B dash, you will be joining the corner of the base to the apex and not to each other. You cannot join A dash to O dash because it's already joined. You cannot join C dash to O dash because it's already joined. So what can you join? B dash to O dash. That's it. So by joining this, you are dividing into 2 triangular faces. That's it. That completes your front view. Join O dash to B dash. Done. So this means in the final front view, you are seeing 3 entities. What are they? The base ABCD, the triangular face O dash, A dash, B dash, that is OAB, the triangular face O dash, B dash, C dash, that is OBC. These are the 3 entities which you see in the final front view. The other two triangular faces are not seen. So what is not seen, you have to represent by hidden lines. As you might have observed here, I have represented this OD and all by hidden lines. Same way, now you can see O dash, D dash. Do you see this line? In the front view, you don't see. So straight away, O dash to D dash. Hidden lines. You can see hidden lines. And if you want O dash, O1 dash, you can draw the axis. That's it. This is the final front. Okay. So the rules of visibility are very important, especially this first one. Join the outermost exterior points by solid straight line. Next one is this. Into how many triangles can you divide this odd shape or this odd shape so that the corner of the base is joined to the apex and not to each other? Second. Third, do you see the base or not? In this case, you did not see because it is less than 90 degrees. In this case, you see. Why? Because base is nearer to the observer. So these are some of the rules of visibility or the thumb rules which you have to apply in order to get the front and top views in projections of solids. Okay, so we'll be using these in every problem. Okay, so if you are not understood, don't worry. You see the video once again. And tomorrow's class, not tomorrow, maybe Saturday's class, we will be taking up another two problems wherein these concepts will be very clear. Okay. So if you have any doubts, please you can ask or you can put your phone number and you can leave.